Hi, I'm here with the beautiful Terri Hart, and Terri did an Art Your Life intensive over 3 years ago, and one of the reasons I invited Terri to come along and have a chat on the couch at Art HQ was to hear your perspective, Terri, about what's been happening since the Art Your Life intensive and what was happening before it, if you can remember that far ago, or how you've used the tools and what's been happening since then. Okay, so Terri, over 3 years ago, before the Art Your Life intensive, because you were in the very first program ever, when I first created this beautiful thing that's now evolved even so much more. What was happening for you before your Art Your Life intensive?
Well, I had a love affair with white wine, and one of the first workshops that you held, you took me through a process, and I have not had a glass of white wine since.
High five!
So that was part of my daily routine, and it's something I did want to change, and it changed.
Yep.
Some of the other things that have happened, I have been described, and I would have described myself as a procrastinator before. And I'm actually acutely aware now that while I still might, there's nearly like to start, and then I say, well, no, that's not how I do things now. I just get on and do what I need to do. And I have no control over what's happened. That's already happened, so just get on with it. So it's a lot more calmer in myself.
Yep.
I also look after myself a lot more. Like, I value who I am. And so I make choices for me. I've actually spoken to my younger daughter about choices, and she went through a stage where she was having some panic attacks, and I was able to use some of the skills and tools that I learnt from Art Your Life to enable her to unpack what was happening and what she had control over and what she didn't. So, and how she might choose to respond to certain situations. The Art Your Life enabled me to put myself in somebody else's shoes, but without getting sucked into the emotion of it, but have an understanding of what might be driving them. So my response wasn't an emotional response, it was a factual response based on what the drivers might be rather than what the person's emotional face might present.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm also kinder to myself as well. I used to beat myself up a lot about I wasn't good enough, or I should do better, or I have to. And I remember you telling me, Terri, you're never going to reach your goals because you keep on moving them out further and further and further.
I think I might remember saying to you, Terri, a perfectionist has no standards.
Yes.
It would have been something like that, wouldn't it? That no matter what you'd done, you almost always were feeling like that you had to do.
So I was sabotaging my efforts and my achievements. So I don't even do that any longer. It's like I celebrate what I've achieved. I have goals and I celebrate those, and it might only be just a self-acknowledgement, or it might be something I do differently. But because I am kinder to myself, it also means that I'm kinder to those who are closest to me as well. They don't get wrapped into what was my anxieties and my need to prove to myself and everybody else that I had to do better. So.
Wow. Terri, one of the things that I find most humbling about all of that is that 3 years later, okay, because I've always said I want a program where people are people and not a number, and where I always know every single woman who's doing the program. And I remember every person who's done the program, and thank you so much for coming back sort of 3 years later to share what's been happening for you since Art Your Life, Terri. It's amazing.
And I think it's proof that it works, because I have had no formal contact with the program since I did that first one. Yet, reflecting over the last few days, it's stuck with me, and it's part of who I am. It's part of my subconscious now. It's not a add-on to remember to do something differently. It's part of how I operate now. So it's been fantastic.
It really is life tools, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terri, thank you.